Everybody, this is John for Pioneer Nexus MTG coming at you with an updated deck overview for Gruul Vehicles in the Pioneer format. If you do like these informative deck overviews, please consider subscribing to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave me a constructive comment down below. So this is a variant of the Gruul Vehicles archetype that started popping up as a way to punish Rakdos midrange specifically, and that is a Jund variant. The Brothers War printed a few key cards that made this archetype a little bit more palatable. The first one being Mishra Dragon Engine. This is a 3/3 double striking creature that whenever it enters the battlefield from the graveyard, because it does have an earth of 3 red, you may discard your hand and draw 3 cards, which, is an okay card on its own to be playing. It's a 3/3 double striker for a 2/2 double striker, so not the most exciting card, but you also get to pair it with its other half, which is Mishra, claimed by Gix. This is a 3/5 legendary creature. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures Mishra claimed by Gix and a creature named Mishra and Dragon Engine are attacking. You own both and control them, exile them, and then meld them into Mishra, lost to Phyrexia. This card has some insane abilities. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3 of these. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Mishra deals 3 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace or trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1. And create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. So that's a lot to add. Now, obviously, this card being a 3/5, generally you would have to wait for it to untap before you get a lot of effects from it. But when you're running this little card named Reckless Stormseeker, you can obviously go like turn 1, Land of War Elves, turn 2, Mishra and Dragon Engine, turn 3, Stormseeker, turn 4, Mishra. All of a sudden you're attacking with this really hard to deal with creature, and then you're pairing it with all the other lovely hits, such as Asika's Chariot and Sky Sovereign, as just ways to kind of overwhelm your opponent with damage and kind of get them dead as quickly as possible. And of course, Mishra also happens to be a 9/9. Beyond that, you're still running a lot of the other cards. You're still running the Mana Dorks. You're getting to run a little bit of Black Disruption that we'll talk about mainly in the sideboard, but a copy of Abrupt Decay, along with copies of Obliterating Bolt, which is another card from the set, which is a 4 damage exile. It's basically Lava Coil, but now Lava Coil can hit Planeswalkers. And then still get to run Fable, the Mirror Breaker, Bone Crusher Giant, and Reckless Stormseeker we've already kind of talked about. So you get to run all the greatest hits of the Gruul Vehicles deck with having a little bit better, or a little bit more of an interesting game plan, besides, having to have a Asika's Chariot or Sky Sovereign. As far as the sideboard, you're still seeing a lot of the same cards, but you get to run the Akroan War, obviously very good against the mono green deck, or any type of creature-based matchup where they have big dumb idiots. Kolaghan's Command, when you need a little bit of grindy elements, being able to rebuy your creatures, makes it really obnoxious for your opponents to deal with the trying to keep Mishra, the meld combo off the board. Omnixilus, very good against the grindy matchups and good against the red aggressive decks, giving you a little bit of life. Thoughtseize is when you need a little bit of disruption for the combo and control matchups. Obviously, combo like Lotus Field could be a little bit of a problem if you don't have your absolute nuts. Aggressive draws, this gives you another little bit out in that kind of a matchup. Running Volley, primarily here for Grease Fang and the Angels matchups. Can also come in against Spirits and such. A lot of utility for this card, especially for the low price of 1 mana. Unlicensed Earth, primarily here for the graveyard-based decks to pair with their scavenging uses against both Izzet Phoenix and against copies of Grease Fang. And Noxious Grasp, much the same thing. Very good against Angels, very good against Spirits, very good against Grease Fang. That kind of wraps all the various different things. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any more results with this deck, but I figured it would be something you should be aware of, especially if you grew to like the Gruul Vehicles deck. This is obviously one that you could be playing. As far as the matchups, the way it would improve the matchups, I really don't know. You were really a mid-range killer that happened to be decent against the control decks and other creature-based decks. Tended to struggle against linear combo that just didn't care what you were doing, which is pretty much like Jeskai Ascendancy combo and Jeskai Ascendancy combo, maybe Grease Fang if you don't happen to have your particular graveyard hate piece that you need on a given turn, or things like Lotus Field combo just kind of being you. Besides, the mono green matchup, but the mono green matchup's largely fixed out by the the Acheron War. So definitely a deck that's settled into its place. This is definitely a twist on that deck that you should be aware of, and maybe, just maybe, you can meld your own Mishra. So, hope to see you for the next deck overview coming up here in a couple of days.